Hello and welcome back to the second day of the Monkey Bubble Eurocup fundraiser. 18 national teams test their mettle against their peers and try to get enough money to go to the World Cup. We have seen some brilliant games yesterday, and I'm sure that today we will continue to be a riot and a half. My name is the Olim Answer, your Monkey Bubble tech support rep for the evening, and with me is the epicenter of English eloquence, Commander X.
Thank you very much, Ollie. I'm excited to be here. We had some great games yesterday, and we're in tune for some great ones today as well. A couple of the other streams already started, and they're all playing off in this big old prize pool, which you can donate to yourself on the Matcherino page. Link can be found below. We're at $780 already. Obviously, every single penny of that goes towards helping whoever the winner is get themselves over to BlizzCon and get themselves to that World Cup.
Yeah, that is true. You can help these teams out. Below the stream, you can find a donation button that allows you to add to this prize pool. If you do that, you can automatically enter a giveaway. We are giving away 5 €20 Blizzard gift cards among all entries, so you can get 2 entries into the raffle for every dollar donated, and you get to help your team out. That is the best way to go about it, so best go and get at it. What else do we have for them, Commander?
So we've got some merch as well. So if you head over to the Monkey Bubble store, you can buy stuff for your specific team, whether it's the country you're from or just someone you want to support directly. 50% of the profits from every sale go towards that country directly. So if you don't want to put it into the overall prize pool, you have a specific country in mind, that's what you should do. Go buy yourself some merch, and obviously you get a nice t-shirt, hoodie, or whatever as well.
Yeah, that's right. I have looked through the store. It is absolutely worth it. The merch is beautiful. And remember, it is time limited. The Monkey Bubble merchandise goes off sale on the 16th of September, and we have limited supply. So go in there, get your stuff before it's gone, because it is selling rather quickly. Now, if you are decked out, you can follow us on monkey_Overwatch on Twitter, or right here on Twitch, of course, for more awesome high-level Overwatch. Let's jump into the games, though. Talk us in, Commander. What are we going to see today?
So our first game is going to be Poland against Austria. Both teams coming into this kind of a mixed start. Austria had a pretty rough series yesterday against Italy, while Poland just absolutely breezed past Greece.
Yeah, I've seen that. Poland looked absolutely dominant on their game there versus Greece, who was struggling basically in their entire setup. Do you think that was a strength for Poland, or was that due to a bit of lack of coordination by Greece? Can we see a close game here, or is this one of those games that you really don't know what we're getting into?
I have to be honest, I have to think Poland should, if everything goes to plan, should just have a pretty comfortable time here as well. Greece didn't give them much of a challenge yesterday. Austria struggled against Italy, and Poland have a pretty good roster. A lot of their players have strong Tier 3 experience, and obviously the player most people will be familiar with is, of course, Darnier from the Paris Eternal.
Yeah, that is right. I mean, when we are looking at what we have here on Team Austria, we have people like Fav from the Prophet SKG, who are one of the more prominent Tier 3 teams. We have Minimi from Clockwork Vendetta. So there's a lot of talent right there. All these teams, of course, with very high-skilled, high-level players that are here to show us and show the other teams what they can do, because remember, these are the actual World Cup teams, and we are here to get them to the actual World Cup. So once again, donate, buy some merch. Don't leave these guys out in the rain, because they have been training their asses off, excuse my French, in order to get over there, in order to get to America to play the World Cup. Looking at the games we've seen yesterday, I want to highlight the game Team Austria had versus Italy. Give us a quick recap of what happened over there.
So on Austria's side, they really stuck to the meta, and the current meta with the new Sigma hero involved is Sigma, Orisa, Reaper, May, then a Moira Lucio. Sort of a fast-paced, close engagement composition with a lot of sustain and a lot of power behind it. On the flip side, Italy chose to run basically the same thing, but they used D.Va instead. So yesterday we saw in the games that we got on this stream that Sigma definitely seemed to be the better hero than D.Va in that sort of relatively mirror matchup. So it'll be interesting to see if Austria, I imagine they'll keep going for it. even though they didn't look that great on it, I think they're very much leaning into the meta. I think that's a safe bet when it's so fresh and so new for everyone. But I am excited for Poland because they're the ones who seem to be straying from it a little bit more. And if you remember, I'm sure you do, Ollie, yesterday when Israel strayed away from that sort of default to the meta, they got some great things done against... Oh, they escaped me now.
Germany.
Germany,
Yeah,
yes.
Yesterday.
Written Germany off already. Forgotten about them.
After that game yesterday, which is a game that we will not soon forget, that is a bit strange. Now we are entering our first map in a second, which should be Oasis. Oasis, obviously one of the greatest control maps that have ever been made. Two teams that are known for very fast assaults right there. So tell me, what can we see here? What can we expect from this map?
Yesterday, we had Poland running Darnier on a lot of Farah and a lot of Doomfist. So really playing into his potential and his individual skill on that hero. And likewise, Filion, where he played mostly Mei, he did flex off as well to the Farah and Doomfist to accommodate Darnier as well. So I expect to see more of that. I expect him to start with the Farah, and I think that will be a real problem for him.
Oh yeah, that could absolutely be a problem. Lots of open space here to go about, especially if you have a Farah in there. Darnier already on there, 22 minutes before they come out of the gate. I mean, looking at Team Austria is opting for that Sigma. Now, we have seen what Sigma can do yesterday. What can we expect? Do you think we will see another one of those dominant Sigma players like we saw on Team Israel yesterday? Because, you know, he hasn't been in there for very long. So what's to be expected?
I think there's definitely going to be a big skill gap between players because of how new the hero is, and I think people who have put in the time and effort to get good at Sigma, you'll be able to see the difference noticeably. I do have to say for Poland, Dexter was a little bit of a weak link yesterday despite their dominant performance, so I'm hoping he can do better today, and already we see Darnier taking over all that position for Poland.
Yeah, very high up there, taking some pot shots and trying to get that barrage ready early. Already at 50% for the ultimate, so very fast charging. Even though the ult charge has changed, has been nerfed quite a bit in the last patch. Darnier taking down Fav, Mac going down, and it does look as if Poland is taking the real estate here for the first couple ticks.
Bit timid there from Austria. They have the Hanzo as opposed to the Reaper, so they don't necessarily want a quick engagement, but the Hanzo not so apt at dealing with a Farah Mercy combo. We'll be interested to see if the Deceiver chooses to use a Widowmaker instead. Bit more reliable, bit more of a threat to Darnier and Webster. But on the Hanzo, it does put them in a particularly difficult position. They have to try and force a frontline fight, Ollie, but if Darnier keeps getting value like this, they might not get an opportunity.
Yeah, getting Darnier out of there should be a priority right there for the Austrian team. It doesn't look like they are going to do anything more but try and get Deceiver on there rather than get a quote-unquote proper hit scan in there. What do you think of that decision right now?
I think it's okay. They're going to drop the amplification matrix here, but they're awfully far away from Poland, so Poland not really under any threat. Going to be happy with this one. Now they have to walk in, but they've got to be conscious. Darnier is lurking above with the Blizzard.
Yeah, the shield round is going in there. Fav already down, so there's the barrage coming in. Even though there was an invincibility zone right there, immortality zone, Darnier finds Deceiver, so they're only hit scan down, and now they can really put the pressure on. But we can see Darnier was down in that same barrage right now, so the push doesn't go in as hard as I expected.
I really like that from Poland. They push half aggressively off the picks they got. They're not really looking to commit to a fight, but they want to give Webster the space to try and get that res off. I like the idea. Valkyrie's pop from him as well. They force him back. 75% already. We're down to the last fight. Philly has the Blizzard, and Austria are really struggling. They need something to open it up from here because they've really just struggled to get from this choke.
Yeah, ult supremacy for the Poles here, and quite interesting or quite important ults that are still up on the field. Let's see what Austria is going to do. The immortality zone is out, trying to cancel that damage out. There is the graphitic flux coming in. Darnier with the double on the follow-up. Dexter taking out Fav. Dexter, and he takes the triple right there. The overtime wake is running, and it is Austria who are looking back in dismay at this dominant round.
Nice ult there from Dexter. We said we were hoping he would do a little bit better today, a bit more consistent on the Sigma, and it's a strong start for him there. Really nice ult once the amplification matrix is used. capitalizes off Austria all trying to group around that ult to get max value. And we said at the start, but it looks like Poland in cruise control right now in that first round.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, you know, this must be a confidence boost for Dexter, who was, like you said, a bit weak on the games yesterday, a bit of a liability. Now going in their first round, taking a triple after a very nice ultimate, setting up Danye for success as well. That was just beautifully defended here. Very, very well thought out and coordinated.
This time we've got Austria going on to the Reaper here, so now they're going to be looking for a faster engage. They want to try and win the frontline fight before Danye can find value. So there's very much a timer on Austria's attack, and that timer is how much damage Danye can do. Obviously, Matt going to have a lot of responsibility putting that experimental barrier in front of Danye, limiting his impact. Now, it's a slower start from Poland. They just want to let Danye get to work.
Yeah, Zoic in there as well, so we're seeing a bit of a Beyblade revival right here. We'll see whether or not that will work for them. In trouble is Message. Message goes down. That was absolutely beautifully done right there. Fav finds the shots from the sidebar. Fav finds Filian as well. And now it looks as if Austria are getting themselves back into that fight, trying to get that second point in there. First real estate turned over to them.
Cool about the second barrier there was Mezek, and he just goes straight down. So an easy first take. First take's so important in control. We say it all the time, but it's always true. But this is where it gets a little bit difficult for Austria, because Danye's coming round on the flank. He's harassing them, and if they don't do something sooner or later, he's going to get bodied. There it is!
Oh, Fav going down. That could have been a lot worse than it was at this point, but it is still crazy to leave your side up like that. Minimi going down there, so no main tank up for Austria, and Danye still on his spree, trying to just dip down there in order to, you know, dodge the commands there for the Austrians, and it is the Austrians in trouble as Filian takes down Deceiver, and this could change the real estate over, could change point command.
Really good beat from Boeck to keep everyone alive, but still in complete control of this. Danye uncontested. And like we said, there's no good way for Austria to fight Danye. They have to kind of win the fight first, then go deal with him. But now Poland sitting pretty. Bunch of ultimates on their side. They have that Sigma ult again, the Gravitic Flux. And they can really look to take value with that if Austria get too grouped up.
Yeah, especially if you get hit by that big stone right in the face, then you can set up whatever the hell you want. You have to get past that double shield, though. So let's see whether or not Dexter is going as aggressive as we've seen it yesterday. That was beautifully done. But now let's focus back on the game today. Minimi in trouble on half HP. The entirety of Team Austria already very low. Fav and Mech down. Deceiver is frozen, and Danye with the double. Dexter closing it out there together with Dooku, and once again, Poland, once they set up, they just stay in control.
Tough fight right there for Austria. They're at a big ult disadvantage. Even though the Blizzard is so powerful, especially in this meta, it's always going to be difficult because even if he uses it, Danye's floating above, completely unaffected, can put damage on anyone following up. Likewise, Filian also has a Blizzard, so completely neutralizing that threat. Now the Blizzard's out of the way, they will have a bit of a cleaner push, but they've still got to get through all the other ults here. Austria starting to run out of time.
Absolutely. I see a lot of Polish coming into Twitch chat right now. There's the Death Blossom coming in from Deceiver. Let's see whether or not he can set it up. But he goes down on time. Filian is able to set him down. Danye gets rest, who was getting shot down earlier, and now repays the favor by taking down Salt Mines here on point. And that attack looked very well done, but didn't pan out the way that they wanted to. Now back to the Polish people. Where are my Polish people? Give it up for your team who are playing their heart out right now.
Huge shame for Austria there. It starts absolutely perfectly. Fav gets that damage boosted kill onto Danye. Now it's the big threat. They should be able to walk over him at that point, but Poland have all the ults to bail themselves out. Now it's going to be one last push. It's going to be a struggle for them to touch here, really. They're trying to catch Danye. They can't get him, but they've got to touch.
Yes, Danye once again with the barrage, looking for a target, finding Deceiver. Deceiver is trying to set it back there with Mac, who eats most of the rest of that, but that could have been worse than it was. But still, Deceiver getting Deceiver down there, that was an absolute kill right there. The overtime wick running, just one person there to defend it. Jumping down is Minimi, not able to set it up, the wick down, and that was that. Poland takes the first map.
pretty clean from overall, and there was a bit of kickback from Austria in the second round. I do like the swap onto D.Va, especially against the Pharah. While Sigma can deal with it by putting the shield up there, D.Va is much more reliable, and you've also got to bear in mind that with the D.Va, they're also the off-tank player will be much more experienced on D.Va and much better at dealing with a Pharah on that hero. Because you saw, especially in that last fight, Darnier lurking with that barrage over Deceiver's head, like everybody knew it was coming, but Deceiver couldn't do anything about it. We see Darnier there, top of the damage, him just farming away. This is a lot of what Poland did yesterday to beat Greece, and it's working again today.
Yeah, that is right. And Darnier, dominant there. Darnier just pushing, pushing the front ever forward with that threat of damage. And if you don't take care of a Pharah that is hovering up there and is just pelting your entire backline from some off angle or from up high, you are going to have a bad day. Now we are loading into Havana, though. Austria have, chosen the longer sight lines, have chosen a longer setup time right there. So let's see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, yesterday we saw Israel run double sniper on the defense and made a lot of success with that. But I don't know if they'll use it here, and you also have to bear in mind that, like I said, Poland are happy to run different stuff here. So we might see the Doomfist come out from Darnier in particular. Obviously, a hero he's more than capable on. Billion might play the Widowmaker. They've got options here, Poland. We'll wait and see what they do. But if I'm Austria right now, it's maybe an oversimplification of a matchup, but I think you need to do something about Darnier. And I don't think you need to overcommit resources to him, but you need to do something to contain him. I think the D.Va, swapping Mac onto the D.Va was a pretty decent idea. And I think they need to try potentially more of that, because I think it worked once for Poland. Why not try it again?
That's right. I mean, Deceiver back here on the Widowmaker now. So at least some long-range support right there. And a big threat to that Far Mercy up in the sky. If you can hit your shots, and these people are more than capable of hitting their shots. Now, remember, Twitch chat, both of these teams need your support. They both need your cheers, but they will also need your monetary support. Go check out the store, go to the Polish or the Austrian web shop, and get yourself geared out to continue to support them even further than this tournament, because the material just looks absolutely brilliant. And we're out of the gate. Very aggressive defense here by Team Poland, very close to spawn, so they're not giving them any time to set anything up. And let's see if Austria can get themselves out of this predicament the moment they step out of the gate. Salt mines going down, though.
They start with double sniper, but Poland aren't giving them any space. Already 2 kills for Darnier, and it looks like they're happy to stay here. They do get a kill on Darnier. Should be resable. Now they're chasing out Widow out. Poland back to full strength. And I think they have to come out this door where Austria were now. They have to try and take the fight from that angle. They need to find a kill onto Darnier. Darnier needs to be careful. That was risky, but he gets on top of the roof and should be okay. And as long as he plays around there, he's going to be an absolute nightmare for Austria to deal with.
Yeah, jumping in and jumping out. Mac already at half HP. Deceiver very low, being healed up though. Mac going down now by Darnier, who found the off angle yet again. Dooku following up on Fav, and suddenly Darnier has free reign on whatever he wants to do. 3 people down for Austria.
Changes coming in right now for Austria. Back over to the May Reaper. They just want to try and kill the front line. Darnier has an early barrage. Mac can obviously block a lot now with his experimental barrier, but he's got to be ready for it. He's got to be prepared. And we see now Poland completely switching their style, backing up, giving them space.
Yeah, exactly. They want to set up Darnier. The barrier coming out, and a lot of damage. Salt Mines goes down. Deceiver goes down. Thoek nearly went there for the kill, just as Minimi. And now it's clean up here for Team Poland.
Perfect adjustment from Poland. You always, whenever a team makes a comp swap like that, you always look at the team that's on the same comp, because they have to change how they play their comp to better suit what the enemy's throwing at them now. Poland make the adjustment there. You see him put the distance back instantly. We are going to get a small technical pause. I think it is. Is it? Oh my god, it's Darnier who's dropped out. That's about the worst thing that could have happened for Poland.
Yeah, right now he is, not entirely carrying the team, but at least the biggest problem for Team Austria. And losing him right now, or at least needing to reset the game, takes the entire momentum out of this. So we will wait for a couple of minutes right there. I want to highlight once again what you just said earlier. Poland takes the entire front line back 1 or 2 meters just before that payload, forcing, or basically goading Team Austria into going on a more prominent attack. And then that Pharmacy just swoops in from the side. Now, do you think that is a practice thing, or is that something that you spontaneously do once you notice that that there is room to do something like that?
I think it mainly comes down to how well the team is drilled at playing their comp and how a comp against different comps and how experienced they are with it. Because most comps can have a win condition against every other comp. It's just sometimes that win condition is a little bit harder, a little bit smaller, but you always have to adjust the way you play. So I think Poland here definitely showing their experience and knowledge of the competition, making that instant change. You have to obviously look and say, Darnier's coming in from Paris, from an entire year with Paris Eternal. He's obviously not just gotten better as a player, but he would have picked up a lot of knowledge in that time span as well. So I don't know how long he's actually had in terms of practicing with, but you certainly feel like some of that knowledge might have been passed off. Obviously, you have to give some credit to the coaching as well, but Poland seems to have a clear understanding of what they want to do versus what different kind of problems Austria throw at them, whereas Austria seem a little bit low on ideas.
Yeah, right now what they have though is 2 ultimates. I mean, we see Salt Mines there with the Nano Boost ready and a Supercharger for Minimi. So they could aggressively try and push out of there, but very close to the ultimate is Philion with the Blizzard. Do you think they're actually going to do that right now? Or do you think that we will see Team Poland for at least another attack? There's 2 minutes still on the clock, so Austria has a lot of time to get up and go for the full Old Storm, or they're going to commit on this one.
I think Austria get kind of lucky here because they've very much been stumped at this point for 2 minutes, but with Darnier going down, that's kind of the setup. Like the setup for Poland, as we said before, is for the front line and that double shield tank duo to buy a lot of time and buy time for Darnier to find openings and get damage through. Like we saw in that last fight, we got a barrage right in. Everyone on Austria is down to half health. Without Darnier, I don't think it works. So I think if I'm Poland right now, Webster does have a Guardian Angel out from the screen we can see right now, so he should be able to get back to his team. And I think you just start walking backwards. If you're Poland, you wait for Darnier to come back, and then you look to take the fight either around the next corner or right at the checkpoint itself, depending on how quickly Darnier can get back.
Yeah, no, that is right. And while we are still waiting, once again, check out the donation website right there. Matcherino is hosting the donation page, and you can not only donate for your team. When you do, you are entering into a little bit of a quest. That is a little bit of a mini game right there. That's good fun. But apparently we are now back in the game. So let's see whether or not our predictions are coming through. Poland pulling back there. Dexter just giving up a little bit of room. Messick going down though to the Deceiver, who finds the side angle with that nano boost, going aggressively there on Dexter, and doesn't have the rest of the team to fall back on, to follow back up on. The rest of Team Austria were just stopped in their tracks though. Philion going down to Fav, and it looks as if Austria are trying to get some momentum going. Dexter with that triple K right now, quadra K, and once again it is back to spawn. Dexter showing his mettle, showing what he can do on that crazy Sigma.
Great play again. It looked like they tried to punish. Deceiver wanted to go super deep with that nano boost, but I think we didn't see exactly what it was, but either his team was caught up with something else or they were just too slow. Deceiver gets isolated. Darnier back from spawn, turns that kill. Now they get a set up again. Philion was killed though, so he's had to swap to the Doomfist to try and get back to the fight quickly. Similar idea right now, but it does make the front line that tiny bit squishier from the Poland side. So maybe this is the opening. This is what they want to exploit.
Yeah, but you already see Austria going down in hit points. Darnier with another barrage. A double. Philion jumping in on Thoek. Very good. Very well done message, taking up the Salt Mine, who has been pushed off. And once again, it is Poland who are taking the aggressive approach here. Very aggressive defense. 27 seconds on the clock, though. So now Austria in trouble.
Lots of threats from so many different sides. You can see Darnier playing confidently here, playing boldly, getting all over them. Still on the Ana rather than the Moira, which is maybe... They do have the nano boost though, so I see why they keep it. But it is slightly worse against the double shield. Still walking in now. Sigma will start it off. Gravitic Flux. Mac needs to find something good with this.
Needs to do it quickly. Deceiver takes down Dexter, so a lot of tanking is right out there. The Blizzard coming out, so Fab finds Messick, but still that Pharmacy is up in the air. The Valkyrie is running, so they can stabilize, and they do. Messick back up, Philion with that double, and now Deceiver tries to pull the trigger and goes down to Messick. Great healing here by Team Poland. Danier with another double, another barrage coming in, Mac going down, and the overtime going down. Round 1 complete, and now it is Poland on the attack.
Superb hold. Again, we see Poland. They end up having to change their comp. Not that they wanted to, but just to get Philion back in time. With the Doomfist, they changed their setup as well. They hit them from different sides with the DPS. So hard for Austria to deal with that, especially while the Sigma does give you better durability, it's not quite as reactive as the defense matrix. So there is a bit of a downside there, but right now, Poland just seem in complete control of this. And there's no giving up for them. Interested to see what Austria do on the defense here.
Yeah, that reset right there by Webster on that Valkyrie, I have to give him credit for that. Webster keeps his head cool, gets the main tank back in there, finds exactly the right target to res, and from that moment on, it just snowballs because Daniel is still up thanks to his healing. Messick is back up thanks to his healing, and then they are just able to get that final push halted down. So same composition, no, almost same composition. A Widowmaker for Daniel right now. That's a new one. I haven't seen him play that before, personally. So let's see what they're going to do with that. It looks like the Austrians are setting up for a mid-range defense right there in that bar. What do you think of that positioning?
I think they're not going to stay there long. I think the plan is for them to rush spawn. They're just using this as a line of sight. The problem is it kind of seems like they're expecting this here from Poland, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Dani go over onto the Pharah again, and for Poland just to run a slow poke comp, because they only realistically need to win one fight, so a slow poke comp will be fine.
Yes, that they absolutely are. Daniel, though, back on the Pharah, so no Widowmaker for Team Poland here on this aggressive defense. Austria trying to play the same playbook, so very far forward and going to get any momentum out, but it is Dexter who takes a quadra yet again on that Sigma, finds the off angle, just makes it through there, and that is a team kill before this round has even started. Now going very far forward is Philion, trying to get some information here, trying to keep Team Austria from resetting that. Deceiver already on half HP, so we're going down, one healer down here for Team Austria. Deceiver going far forward with the raised form, but going down as soon as he comes out of that to Danier. And this should be over before it started, but oh, that is so nasty. So sad for Team Austria, because they could have done something about that by just changing up the composition, I believe. What do you think of that one?
It's hard, but they're really put in such a difficult position by how poor their offense was, because when they're in this situation, Austria have to stick on this comp, and Poland can swap to whatever comp they want. We said it beforehand, Dani probably going to go straight back on the Pharah as soon as he sees that close range composition. Austria have to take a fight, but the problem is they can only fight so far forward before they just reach the spawn door, and they're no longer allowed to walk any further forward. So it's always going to be limiting in that sense, and it's tough for them. I think Austria really lost it on their attack, because they give so much control to Poland. But right now, Poland have run the same comp basically throughout. Philion's flexed around a little bit, but it's been all them all day long.
Yeah, that's right. Now we are into Temple of Anubis, another pick here by Team Austria, which is a strange one for me, at least for the first point. I'm expecting a fast blitz on the first point, maybe a bit more stall on the second, because Pharah has limited movement between those pillars. On the other hand, Pharah is harder to hit between those pillars. So Danier might actually have a field day, or can be completely hampered over there. But maybe they have a composition specifically for this match. What can we expect? What do you think?
I was going to say, I think there's definitely an opportunity. We've seen Poland have run a limited amount of May Reaper, but I wouldn't be surprised if they swapped. They've had Danier play Doomfist, Philion still on the May, which works very similarly to the May Reaper in terms of the sort of core concepts and core goals of a composition, but it does mean you have a little bit more mobility with Doomfist, even if he's a bit more obvious about how he's moving around the map because he's so loud. but I think it plays into their hands, and particularly on point B and even point A, Doomfist, there's a lot of nice jumps you can do, and there's a lot of high ground you can swap between, and it really emphasizes the strength of him. No changes again really from Austria, at least for now, but they're going to start with Darnier on the Hanzo for this first point. So I imagine they want to hold this first choke fairly aggressively and make it really difficult for Austria to get in, because Austria wants a close fight, so they need to get Poland off the high ground, and that's Austria's initial goal.
Yeah, and it's Dexter lobbing the rock here as a bit of a deterrent from going right side. And the side arrow is coming in right now. Minimi already on half HP because of a great wall stopping Austria in the track here by Filion. Dexter might have a bit of a surprise for them in store if he can get the off angle yet again, but it is right now, it is Filion stopping or at least halting that forward movement. Mac and Fav both in trouble right here. Let's see what they're going to do as the high ground is pushing them. Dooku going down, so one healer less for Team Poland. They in mortality zone is up there. Dexter and Messick in trouble. Messick going down though. Dexter finding Salt Mine, and it is equalized here on point right there as Daniel takes down Thoek. Now, no supports for Team Austria and Team Poland stabilizing, at least for now.
Looked like Poland maybe having a chance when they picked up Salt Mines there, and then Dani got a couple of kills. They're going to try and force their way back in, actually, with this amplification matrix. I'm not sure about this, because Deceiver's going to get so much value at this corner. He's trying to get forced out, but look at Dexter get deleted.
Yeah, Dexter getting deleted with that double shot by Deceiver, who had absolutely brilliant positioning right there. Just pulling back, knowing that Dexter is going for that off angle, trying to force the issue, unable to actually do that. Now, though, we will see the second point. You know, a lot of close range encounters. That means Danier this time on a Doomfist, waiting for that nice little backstop, while Austria is going for that left side attack. Let's see what's going to happen here as they are trying to get further forward. Already in the side room now, and Austria on point. Danier though gets Deceiver out of the equation here. Dexter finding Fav, and it is Poland who easily cleaned this up, because Austria, at least that's what it looked like, Austria was not able to move in there quick enough due to the blizzard by Filion.
I think it was maybe an option for Austria to just take out a little bit slower, get up that blizzard, maybe get up something else before committing through that choke point. Always difficult. It doesn't help, obviously, when Dani just goes in and one-shots your Reaper as well. That's obviously not going to help the push. But I think they stand a decent chance here. Again, it's quite difficult for Dani to get value into this competition. Dani has to try and hit them while they're distracted or hit them while they're in a rotation.
Yeah, we have had a little bit of a donation right there. We are up at $881 dollars up there for the prize pool. Remember, if you want to get in on the quest, if you want to get in on the action, if you want to support your team, you can donate, and you can donate for the remainder of this week. Now, though, Blizzard coming out for FAM, and it is Austria pulling the trigger with Salt Mines on the ultimate for the Moira. Danier trying to stabilize it. Danier with that double right there. Danier with that triple. And it looks like he's stabilizing it more or less by himself. The Immortality Zone had something to do with that. Though Deceiver takes the double here with the Death Blossom, goes for the 1v1 on Dexter, and then loses it to Danier. Poland stabilized, but just barely.
Huge from Danier, huge from Filion. We talk about while the double shield tank up the front takes up so much resources and so much value to try and break through. If you can force a kill on one of those DPS, it can be such a swing factor in a fight there. But not able to stop Danier, not able to stop Filion, and they do exactly that. They find kills, they turn back a fight, and that's the power of both Doomfist and Reaper. We saw both Deceiver and Danier go off, but trading kills always better for defense. Austria, I think they caught him maybe.
Yeah, they had him pegged quite early, which could have been really nice. But they didn't. Let's see, though, what's going to happen. This supercharger coming out for Minimi. Austria going in for the aggression, going in for a lot of damage on the short range here. Deceiver tries to find a way in. Can't, though. Thoek going up there, trying to get Dexter out. Danier out of the equation. And now it's time for Austria to strike. Now it's time to show what this aggression can bring to the party. Mac finds Dooku. Poland might be in trouble, but remember, they do have this spawn advantage. Filion with the blizzard. And it is Poland stabilizing yet again with Filion's great blizzard. and giving the rest of the team some manner of respite. Right there. This isn't over though. 2 minutes 20 on the clock.
Great play from Fillion, coming back from that Blizzard just when they needed it. Obviously no D on the field, so he can just throw it at whoever. Austria a little bit too grouped up. And more importantly than not, Poland do a great job keeping someone on the point the whole time. Because there's been a couple of dangerous pushes now for Austria, and they're yet to get a single tick out of it.
Yeah, it looks as if the aggression is coming back in there, and I have to give credit to Fillion for stopping it when they were able to stop it. Now, Deceiver looking for some targets, finding the immortality zone though. Mac going on the side, trying to get that approach ready and able, while the Orisa is trying to pave the way. Now Austria back in point. The Coalescence is ready there, but it is an ultimate from Dexter. Not finding any targets, so the Coalescence out now for Salt Mines, looking for targets. Zoic finds Fillion, so one player down for Poland. Now, Zoek finds Messick. Poland in trouble. Still one person on there, though. And it is Dexter. Dexter going down, though, to Deceiver combination with Mac.
Deceiver now should be cleaning them up. It's looking good for Austria again. They're still yet to get a lot of progress. They have to get rid of this May. Now the Stall heroes coming out. Reinhardt and Hamwood coming out. Webster nearly has the Amp Matrix, but he's down. This Supercharger might be enough for Austria.
That it could be, and also Deceiver has the Death Blossom ready. So Beyblade is coming out there. Launched it a bit early when the Wrecking Ball was coming in. Still finds two targets with it, and the only people up now, Fillion and Webster. Messick coming back out of spawn on the Reinhardt, but it is too late. Round one complete, and Austria finally takes an objective and does it impressively.
Exactly. Really good map from start to finish from Austria. We talked about them needing to dislodge Poland from the high ground in the first fight. They do exactly that. They take the rotation through left. The wall's a little bit wonky from Fab initially, but they get through anyway thanks to the double shield. Then they get a pretty straightforward push, force them into a corner, eliminate them. And then every single push on second point looked dangerous. It took them to the third attempt to actually clean it, but you also saw the limitation of Doomfist in there in terms of Darnay couldn't get any value. They punished him a couple of times, turn that into a successful push, and Austria with much better discipline in terms of their positioning and their grouping, and also, most particularly, their focus fire has been way better on this map so far than we've seen earlier today.
Yeah, this time around, Austria saw the target, pulled the trigger, hit the mark. Fantastically done. Have to give them credit. And please, Chad, give a warm applause for Team Austria, who are hanging in there and now finally are giving Poland the run for their money. These teams will be entertaining you for the remainder of this series. So let's give it up and let's fire them up into the next round here, which is the attacking side for Poland on Temple of Anubis.
Slight change here from Austria. Going to be going over to the Hammond. Not the Hammond, sorry, the Hanzo. Close enough. Same difference, same hero. One's Japanese, one's a hamster.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going to give them that extra power punch and the damage. They are threatening here just to go a more traditional Sombra Genji dive, Poland. We'll wait and see if they stick with that once they get the scouting information. But a pretty strong composition here, really well-rounded, especially with the Moira and the Baptiste, gives them a lot of sustain. It means they're not particularly vulnerable to a dive. They have lots of stuff to deal with a good dive. And Poland want to stick with it here. Darnier taking the flank, and he's going to be babysat by Webster all the way.
Yeah, Webster just basically babysitting Darnier on the solo. He is now trying to get on that backside, pressuring Deceiver and Thoic there on the high ground. And it is Fillion who makes the next attack. Darnier finds Thoic, so this could potentially be huge with one support down. It is Poland once again in the driver's seat. Very aggressive here on the pull, but they are slowly resetting right there. Spawn advantage for the Polish attack, so they don't need to push as hard as they would. Fav nearly going down, but Minimi finds message. So that is the monkey going down. Fillion has to pull back. Poland a bit reluctant to go further in there. A lot of squishy targets here on Team Poland, so they have to run it as a unit. Ooh, nice shot by Deceiver.
Deceiver saves that one there. Darnier will be res so they can keep it going. Fillion gets the trade, and slowly but surely, Poland are starting to encircle them here. Darnier doing work in the backline again. Nearly has that blade, but they're just chipping away at Austria here. Coalescence to try and stabilize.
Oh, Darnier going down again here by Minimi. I don't know whether or not he wanted to put the trigger, to pull the trigger on that blade, but Dooku doesn't have the nano ready. so the combo wasn't off. Fillion, though, with the EMP coming out, hitting 2 people. Minimi might be in trouble right there, but it is Fav who takes down Message, helped by Deceiver, and it is Austria stabilizing this fight. EMP or no, it looks like Austria is hanging on there, hanging in there, and they're not able to, well, they're not willing to give this up just yet. So, next attack for Poland.
Great play from Fav, really heads-up play. It looked like maybe Poland were going to disengage, but Fav doesn't switch off, keeps himself out of line of sight so he can Blizzard as soon as that EMP comes in. Stops Poland getting value, but now the next danger. Nanoblade up for Danye. Let's see what he can do with this one. All the pressure going to be on Fiok. Mac might be able to intercept with a Gravitic Flux, so Danye's got to try and negotiate a way through all these cooldowns and ultimates to get value.
Yes, that is right. And now the Nanoblade is coming out. Danye with the double, going for the triple, going for the quadra. And this opens it up for Poland quite significantly. Only Minimi in there, closing out by Danye, who is just taking it to the next level. And now a quick rush onto second point. Assert your dominance. You have earned it.
Interesting. It was superb execution. Works out really well. Caught them slightly, I think it was Deceiver got caught slightly out of position first, goes down before he can get inside the Immortality field. Great from Danye. We'll probably have to swap it off here. We'll see what he chooses to stick with, but that's the danger of Sombra Genji. Eventually you just get up some really powerful ults, and that's how you crack open points, which makes it super effective on Assault when you just need to win a fight once, basically, and then keep a point clear. Danye they're sticking with the Sombra Genji here, so I think they might just look to try and go for a similar ult combo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Fillion setting up the EMP goes up quite quickly. Thoek trying to, discourage them by using that Matrix. And let's see what is going to happen here. Mac in trouble. Mac is being forced back here by Danye and his shurikens. Very quick characters are the bane of every Sigma. And, Danye is using that to get the rest of the team into position. Okay, Dexter now with the Diva Bomb. So we could see a Diva EMP combination. Let's see whether or not they can actually pull this off. 96% for Fillion. Let's see if Austria is able to see what is going to happen. Fillion, 99% now. Setting up for the EMP. He should.
He's waiting for it. Done. He's waiting as well.
The EMP is coming out. 4 people down there. Bomb should be in the air any second now. The Nanoblade coming in. Daniel finds Minimi and is going for the next one. Oh, the Blizzard coming out there to stop it in the track. And oh, Danye survived it. Takes Deceiver. Dexter on the backup here, taking down Salt Mines. And the first tick should be coming in anytime soon, because there is only Minimi and Thoek on the point right now, even though there's spawn advantage for Team Austria. Messick with the double.
Give a res free. Poland back to full strength. Now 6 on the point. Fav back on Doomfist. Any kill is good for them, but they need to find one. Fav gets one straight away onto Fillion. They might stand a chance here, 1-for-1.
Yes, and there is no tick right now. Still yet contested. Look at that. Even though Dexter is on there, finds Stoic, but he cannot pull the trigger on that first side. Now, Austria back in there. Deceiver pulling the trigger on the Death Blossom. But Danye, once again with the blade, taking down 1, taking down 2. Salt Mines in trouble, and also down. And now on Minimi. Minimi going down, and it is Danye, yet again, who is cleaning this up with a second blade in a single prolonged fight. Capture point is still in there. Now EMP on Thoek. Thoek going down, even though there was an ultimate in there. The sound barrier not helping a lot. Austria hanging on for dear life. Still, no first third cap though. Well done there, Austria. Impressively done.
Huge kill from Salt Mines with that Coalescence to take out Fillion just before the EMP. They're going to keep this push going with a self-destruct. It catches Minimi.
Minimi, the main tank is going down. Beautiful. And now another attack. This attack is just not ending. It is still the same attack, right? And we are only
EMP coming in.
EMP down. 3 people. Thank you for the call out on that one. Salt Mines trying to get away there, but with the hack, the Moira has absolutely nothing. Danye very low on the hit points there, but being pocketed by Webster. Let's see what's going to happen. The EMP not really helping a lot as the Wrecking Ball puts in the defensive mines here by Mac. Well done. Deceiver. Good execution right there on that sticky bomb. And it is still Austria on top.
They hold it, they hold it. They managed to cycle back in. They only give up a single tick. I don't know if there was a slight mistake there because Dooku used Nano Boost just as Dani was getting up for his third Nano Blade of a fight, but it doesn't go onto him. So I don't know if Dooku used it to save somebody else or if someone just got in the way of Dani getting that Nano Boost. Potential mistake that could cost Poland massively here. They swap over to another comp, but they're pushing him with no ults. This is going to be a tough push.
Yeah, 10 seconds to go, no ultimate, and definitely Austria up for the grabs though. Webster takes down Fav, so now very aggressive here on Poland. Deceiver though finds Messick, and there is no more shield for the Polish people. Austria take it this time around.
Huge problem from Austria. Their attack was great, their defense was so tough. They refused to give up, they refused to give an inch, they kept fighting. Again, got to give credit to Salt Mines for getting that Coalescence kill on Filian when he was, I think it was 91% on his EMP, because if Filian gets that EMP off, I think Poland just close it out and we go to another round of attacks here. And that was superb. Going to get another look at this Danier Dragon Blade. He had 2 or 3 great ones, but it just wasn't enough to crack Austria open.
Yeah, no, that is right. Though this 2CP was one hell of a clutch and one hell of a bunker operation for Team Austria. So well done. So yeah, I hope they will get some confidence from that one, showing that they can do that. It was an intense game for us. It was an intense game for the players, and I hope it was an intense game for our Twitch chat. Twitch chat, make some noise for your favorite teams because we are going into the next match, which will be, let's see.
Not sure yet. Will be Poland's choice, obviously, throughout this bracket. It will be loser's choice for the entire way through, except for the first map, which is just dictated by Monkey Bubble picking you a control map to start off on. Austria with a chance to level the series here, but they are going to have to do it on Poland's choice. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I think it is worth reiterating that because all the teams are so new, some of them might have been scrimming against each other, so they maybe have a bit of knowledge of each other. But unlike in, say, Contenders or Overwatch League, where there'll be much more extensive scouting information you can do, a lot of these teams won't really have a good read on everybody else, necessarily, in terms of what they're good at, what they're bad at. So I imagine most teams are just going to be leading into maps they are good at, but that could definitely cause, you might accidentally pick a map the other team's good at as well.
Yeah, no, that is right. Now that Austria and Poland both seem to have found their stride, I want to know, we are going into map 4. What's your prediction? What are we going to see now?
So I think while that was impressive from Austria, I do think Assault is a very different type of map compared to all the other, or mode I should say, compared to the other ones. I think on Assault maps you can really sort of big brain strategize exactly what you want to do, how you want to play it, and you can really there's a I don't know how you describe it, an RNG element almost, because if you get 2 good pushes in a row, you can suddenly set a really good time, or if you just get stuck, you maybe just get stuck, and a lot of small things can have big results in Assault, which you don't get so much in, say, Escort or a Payload or a Hybrid map. So I think now we're going back over to Hybrid, I believe is our final game mode, and I think that will favour Poland. I think this gives a lot more opportunity to put Dane on, say, the Farah again, which is where they won the first 2 maps, or at least for comp they won the first 2 maps on. But I think we're going to take players want a short break, so we'll take a short break here. But while we're in Battle League, I think we should take a look at maybe a couple of the other games that our French and Spanish friends are covering.
Yeah, we definitely should. Casting right now on the French channel is Denmark versus Romania, which could potentially be.
Do you want a score update? Do you want the leak? Do you want the?
Yes, please.
So Denmark, probably I think on paper the strongest team in this tournament, playing against Romania, who are on paper not the strongest team in this tournament. And it seems like Denmark have already done their business. They 4-0'd Romania, and it's a strong start for Denmark. And I don't think there's a huge amount of surprises in that one.
Yeah. But now for the headliner, at least after the way that that one of those teams has carried themselves yesterday on the Spanish stream, Titan Media is showing Norway versus Israel. Now, what can you tell me on the stats on that one right now?
They've just swapped over, so it was tied 1-1 for sure, and I think they've just finished the 3rd map on Temple of Anubis. but I didn't see what the score was on it. So it's definitely a tight series. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it's 2-0 to Israel. I'll get you an update. Bear with me, but I will find you the score. But it seems like Israel are continuing their strong form from yesterday.
Oh, I definitely hope so. And now, if anyone is still wondering what we can do in the meantime, while we are waiting for these two teams to get ready for the next for the next map.
I've got it. Ooh, sorry to cut in, but I've got it. I've got the score. Score.
Go on.
It's two. Well, there's been 3 maps played. Temple of Anubis was a draw. Israel won the first 2 maps, so 2-0 to Israel. Only 1 map left. Israel have won the series. They'll, of course, play map 4 out for the seeding. Again, we talked yesterday. Map difference is important when each team is only going to get to play 3 or 4 games. There's going to be a lot of tied win-loss ratios, so map difference could make a huge difference to these teams' fates.
Yes, that absolutely will. But if Israel continues on that route, they might just go the whole way. That is a surprise in my book. I have to say. But after that game yesterday, I wish them all the best. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support your team or want to support an underdog like Israel, check out our store. There's some merch that was specifically made and selected for the teams by the teams. A big chunk of the proceeds from the merch sales are going directly to the team that you want to support. So go ahead, give it a look, because the designs are absolutely beautiful. You can have flip-flops, beach towels, hoodies, the whole shebang, you name it, it should be right there. So as far as I know, the teams are getting ready, and we are looking at a 4th game. The fourth map will be Blizzard World, if I see this correctly. Now, Blizzard World, especially on that first map, there's a lot of little flanking routes, nice little things that you can do. A lot of room for a Farah. So, what will we see on this one? What are our predictions? What are we going to see?
So I think it's going to be Poland starting on defense first, if I'm not mistaken, and I wouldn't be surprised if they potentially. I think the Doomfist might end up being a better choice than the Farah, just because there's a lot of good. It's quite open, so the line of sight will be good for stuff like your Hanzo or your Widow. That can really just limit the sort of play area of your Farah. We'll wait and see what they pick, but Darnay definitely has a hero pool that's big enough, as does Filion, for Poland to basically fit whatever combination they want. And I think having 2 DPS like that who can fit a multiple roles is a big advantage in this current meta.
Yeah, that is right, especially if these people can just do whatever they want to do. So the tanks make some room, and you can basically just have a bit of a cakewalk. But both teams know that. Both teams will be watching out for that. And interesting, if this is the combination that Austria is actually going to go with, a farmer, say, a Widow, and that is an interesting tank combination. Minimi once again on the Orisa, but the Monkey is a surprise to me.
Maybe. I'm not sure if they'll stick on it. I imagine the Widow will just take a jump shot at spawn, and the Farah can also just use a booster jet. So I imagine it might just be for scouting. We'll see if they stick on it after they get the information. Interesting for me is that Poland are choosing to run the Farah, which kind of implies they might need. It would be better. It feels like it would be better if they played close, so it's harder for them to get an angle onto Darnay. But then if Austria play the May Reaper, it just makes the positioning a little bit awkward. And we can see Darnay hugging that wall now, and I imagine that's roughly where he's going to stay.
Yeah, we will see a matchup in the skies. Both teams running a Far Mercy. The only upside right now for Team Austria is Deceiver, who has chosen to play the Widowmaker. So the skies should be a lot clearer for them. Whether or not they are going to actively challenge Danier and Webster up there in the sky doesn't matter if Deceiver can pull the trigger on that. Fav, though, with a lot of pot shots directly onto point, and already Filion and Dexter in a bit of a pickle there, getting healed up, though. We will see what's going to run. Fav on half HP, and now actively looking for Danier, who's going down. Well done. Nice shot from Fav, even though he gets Deceiver down. Deceiver already being rezzed up there, and now it looks as if Team Austria Austria are in a better position. Nice shot on Dexter. Not a full kill, but Deceiver should at least get some things in there. The barrage coming out for Fab. Philium, Messick going down, and it is Austria who are taking the aggressive approach, but Mac taking down Dexter, and this should go over to Team Austria. No sweat. Danye swapped to a Widow themselves, takes Fav out of the equation, but that first point is in there, and now we are going for the payload.
We mentioned that the Farah might be a problem for Poland. We see Danye be forced to try and make an aggressive play. Does get the pick onto Deceiver, but Fav is there to cover despite some impressive efforts from Dexter to use the experimental barrier to help him out and in that disadvantage fight. Now we've ended up putting ourselves into a double sniper mirror matchup. So a lot of pressure now, opportunities for both of them to pop up, and we get to see what Danye can do on the Widow.
Yeah, but what I'm more interested in is a Hanzo versus Hanzo matchup, or the Hanzo versus Widow matchup, which is handily won by Fav there. So once again, Danye drops the ball when he is not on D.Va or on the Genji, I have to say. Webster now though has an ultimate ready, can save his team if he wants to. Deceiver with a very aggressive setup, and the visor is coming out. So now Deceiver in a distinct advantage, as Danye cannot move and peek out of that one for at least another second. Now though, Deceiver goes down to Filion, didn't really set his flanks up properly, and Poland can stabilize this one.
Fav tried a big flank on the left-hand side, but great response by Dooku. Hits him with that anti-nade. They shut down that flank really promptly, takes all the width out of Austria's attack, and then they're able to focus them down. And now they can set up forward again at this choke point. So again, this is going to be where it's going to be somewhat difficult to get position if you're Austria.
Yeah, no, that's right. It is that big S-curve along a lot of cover that a defensive team can make use of. Danye finds Stoic, so one support down right there. Stoic has to go all the way back in there from the first point, so that it takes a bit of a while. Minimi, though, with the supercharger, and Mac with the graphitic flux. They might want to go aggressive in there, but they also might to hold off if they counted their ultimate right.
Attempting to push on the high ground here will be a long shield fight, but again, Danye finds the first kill, and if Danye keeps doing this, it's going to be a problem. They try and force it with the graphitic flux, though.
Yeah, they are. Thoek takes Deceiver back up there. Now the supercharger is coming out. The graphitic flux is not available anymore as Mac goes down easily. Fav is down. Minimi is going down. And the supercharger is just whiffing out as Austria has to pull back from a great answer by Poland.
Great job there by Poland. They're in complete control of that situation. Again, the tanks have a pretty hard time. They just have to try and take up space and try and work an angle for their snipers. But Danye's been dominant so far, and now for composition swap. They want to take a fast one. So this might actually work out in Poland's favour, because there's a lot of high ground either side, and there's not a lot of things Austria can do about it. But they are running Mac on the Winston, so I think that's their answer. They're gonna stack the front line here, Austria, and then Mac is gonna go try and get on the snipers. And you see with the nano boost, he's doing just that.
Yeah, that is what he is going to do, and the nano boost is out. Dexter is being pulled in there, but manages to just stabilize it. Now the ultimate is coming in, and in trouble is Zoek, who goes down. The rest of Poland following up. Fav is already down there by Filion, and Poland doesn't only stabilize it, but only uses minimum ultimates, minimum resources to get Austria back on the point. And now a very aggressive defense with a minute and 40 seconds on the clock. I don't know whether or not this is a good setup, but it could potentially be devastating if Filion can get that dragon in there in a proper way.
Exactly. I'm a bit disappointed Mac swap back to the Sigma. I thought the Winston could work. They were just a bit out of sync on that last try. Instead, they're going to go back to the double shield and go for a rotation all the way around again. Needs to be careful and not lose anyone to Danye. But they're good so far. Dragon Strike coming through. Oh no.
4K for Filion. Bait, and he is setting up the fifth one. Wow, what a dragon. So everyone gets into that little choke, doesn't remember that the Hanzo is still in the game, and that is what they get as thanks. Wow.
This is why you see teams not normally go for rotations during Infrasight being up, like it was for Danye, because it allows for very easy setup plays for the other team. and Fillion takes full advantage of that. 44 seconds left, going for the same rotation, but now they're pushing through a supercharger.
Wow, that's a big anti-nade coming in there from Dooku on Team Austria, who are still going on that site rotation. Message is actually now being supercharged with the ultimate, but Austria still there. Still all of them. Maybe a bit low on the hit points. Another anti-nade coming in, and Mac may be in trouble, and Thoek may be in trouble. The sound barrier coming out, but it is too late to save Mac. Now, let's see what's going on. Deceiver finds Dexter. Deceiver finds Messick. Now, no front line for Team Poland with a nice blizzard coming in for Fab. So, this is not over yet. But Dexter still at that prophetic flux, so that could potentially be dangerous. The overtime week running, though.
Big problem is the car is so far away. They've still got so much to do, Austria, and they have to do it all in one go. Poland going to get full respawn, set back up on the high ground, and we do see them inching it forward. Mac on the Hammered might actually help it, because he can just sit on the snipers. Yeah,
no, that is true. And also Toek going to pressure Danye over and over again. The Dragon coming out. Dooku finds Toek there on that little bit. Confirms the kill as Fillion finds Minimi. Fillion stabilizing the situation right there with a triple kill. The overtime still running. Mac the only one on point. And round one complete.
Great job by Poland. Really good gravitic flux for him to tidy up. But I think the real hero of that defense has to be Dooku. Those big 3 anti-nades in a row. A lot of the time you don't see Anna in the double shield meta. It's because the shields just block her healing, they block her nades going through, they block her sleep dart, and it really limits a lot of her utility. But not on this occasion. Dooku manages to get that anti-nade through 3 times in a row, and it just completely dismantles every one of Austria's pushes.
Yeah, but also worth his salary here is Fillion. Speaking of salary, if you want to pay the salary of these great players, go and donate. Below the Twitch window right there is a donate button. Every dollar you set is being divided among the top Overwatch teams out of this tournament to send them to BlizzCon. You want your teams in there? There's a way to make it happen right there, and you can win a prize while doing so at the same time. Now, though, we see the attack from Team Poland, who have shown their dominance on the defense just now. Let's see what they can do on the attacking side. Just take us through the combos, will you?
So far, Austria don't look to be doing anything too much different than their other defenses. Going to be Deceiver going over onto the Hanzo. Last time we saw us on Nubis, it was a Genji Sombra approach from Poland. I don't imagine they'll use the same here, just because the point's a lot longer, a lot wider, a bit harder to get Genji in on those flanks. So it should mean we see either what they're on now, some kind of double sniper, or potentially even the Farah, because I don't think Darnier's overly worried about Deceiver there when he's being hard-pocketed. So a good chance they lean back to that, or they kill on this double sniper, because if you look at where Poland are going to be coming in, they have a good wide space and a high ground to get their snipers on, and that can really push Austria back into a corner, and they can just grind them down.
Yeah, if they can get enough shots in there, that could potentially be a world of trouble. But we'll see what's going to happen.
It is going to be slow poke, yeah. So Fillion probably going to take top right here.
Danye with that shot on Deceiver, just out of the corner of his mind, just bamming it in there. And one DPS down here for Austria. Danye, very low though. The immortality zone saving most of the team right there. Thoek going down, and it looks like a very, very aggressive setup as Danye finds salt mines and Dexter cleans it up there. This is what an attack is supposed to look like. Just a couple of seconds in there, and booyah, you are pushing a payload.
Exactly. We were talking about how we can have a really nice setup with Fillion on the high ground, Darnie above, hitting from different angles. But when you kill someone that early on, you can just go and win the game. Just go and win the fight at that point when you've got such a clear advantage. They follow him out. Double sniper swap now coming over, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Darnie and Webster, or at least Darnie, swapping it back up as well.
And I just saw a fan from Austria saying, okay, everything is fine, there's just going to be a full hold. Well, you're about 30 seconds late to the party, because that is a flown bird right there. Fillion taking salt mines out of the equation. Dexter very far forward right there, but he can do that. He's being pocketed and just pressures Team Austria into the back there. Deceiver trying to find a target right there, but it is at the end Danye who finds salt mines.
Twice in a row now, salt mines has been picked off by one of the snipers on Poland, and it's really stopping Austria set up properly. Deceiver responds, both snipers down.
Beautifully done there with a double. Well done. Danye getting rest up there, though, immediately. Deceiver cannot pull the trigger on that Webster, who is just in and out of every fight, though in trouble is Dooku. That was a nice attempt at a nice shot there by Deceiver. Let's see whether or not he has to relocate or can just stay up there. Fav on the high ground, trying to find Danye yet again. Webster with the Valkyrie, now going aggressive battle Mercy to try and get Fav out of his mojo. Now the nano boost going out. Fillion supercharged and nano boosted. So a lot of damage coming in with the dragon on Team Austria. Team Austria in trouble as Mac goes down. And now Minimi on the point. Cannot get it done. Deceiver finds Fillion though. Not everything is over just yet. Webster, oh, Mafia executing there. And Poland wins.
Great decisions by Poland right at the end there. When you're in the double sniper meta, or in a double sniper matchup, I should say, everybody's job starts to revolve around enabling your snipers or limiting the other snipers. And we see Poland dedicate a lot of resources, hard pocketing Fillion on that high ground, then giving him the nano boost, allows him to turn that first kill onto Fav, and from there it's a snowball. From once they get that first kill, suddenly Deceiver's job gets super difficult. We saw him hiding off in the low ground, just trying to take a safe angle. But as soon as that happens, Poland dominate the space, they dominate the high ground, and it's just a matter of time before they finish him off. 3-1, I think pretty deserving winners there overall, Poland.
Yeah, no, that is right. Well deserved, well played right there. It looked as if for most of this entire series, Poland was in control and Poland executed where they needed to execute. Austria, though, with a great hold and a fantastic map on Temple of Anubis. I want to circle back to that prolonged fight. I did not have any words left, and that doesn't happen very often, I have to say.